This looks like some sort of game. Shoot! Darn. Oops. I did it! Wonder what's in here. If I had some music, I could play a tune.
Don't do that, please! Those microphones I set up over there are very sensitive. Just about took out my eardrums. You can play that thing when I'm done. I'll let you know when that is, all right?
Okay. It's locked. Looks like Camille was teaching herself how to play the piano. Thomasina O'Neill. Looks like some kind of sewing sampler. I wonder if there's a relationship between those symbols and those numbers. I wonder what's under here, and what the deal is with those weird-looking bolts. Looks like I need a special tool. The Little Book of Samplers.
What's up?
Well, I'll catch you later.
Come back anytime.
Hello?
Nancy, hi, it's me.
Hi, Bess.
And me.
Hey, George, what's up?
What's up? You're the one who's on the train with a bunch of famous people. You tell us. This is torture, Nancy. I'm dying of curiosity here. Bess, just calm down. Oh, like you're not just as curious as I am. She's the one who insisted we call you Nancy. Only because you're driving me crazy. I'm supposed to be helping her paint her room, but every other brushstroke she's like, where do you think she is now? How do you think the Hardy Boys are doing? Why do you think she hasn't called? What do you think Laurie Gerard is wearing? Oh, George, that is so not true. I could care less what Laurie Gerard is wearing. So come on, Nancy. You're on a train full of famous people bound for who knows where. So dish already, would ya? Bess, calm down. Look what you did. You got paint in my hair. I'm sorry. You know, actually that looks kinda cool. Nice try, Bess. No, really. You're just saying that because you're afraid I'll bail and you'll wind up having to paint this dump all by yourself. George, I kid you not. You should seriously think about doing some major highlights in that color.
What color is it?
Adobe beige.
Nice try, Bess.
What's going on, Nan?
Our hostess has disappeared.
What do you mean, disappeared?
I mean, the train went into a tunnel, everything went dark, and when the train came out of the tunnel, no Lori. She just disappeared.
Publicity stunt.
My thoughts exactly.
Remember the time she was allegedly kidnapped from her Vegas hotel room?
Yeah, the guy across the hall just happened to have a camera and got it all on tape.
It made the evening news in practically every city in the country. And then there was her daring escape the next morning.
Only it turns out she faked the whole thing.
Of course, she claims her ex-boyfriend faked it to get back at her. She thought she was really being kidnapped.
Like anybody believes that.
Sounds to me like somebody has been spending a lot of time reading the tabloids.
George has.
Very funny. So what else is going on?
Before she disappeared, Lori told us that the purpose of this train trip is to find out what happened to Jake Hurley, the train's original owner.
Was he murdered or something?
No one knows. He was married to a woman named Camille, but she died, and he eventually vanished while mining for gold. His train was found abandoned in Blue Moon Canyon, Nevada, with no one on board but his dead engineer.
Whoa, spooky.
Have any theories?
My first order of business is to find out what happened to Lori.
So first Hurley's wife dies, then Hurley vanishes, then the engineer dies, then Lori vanishes. A pattern, maybe?
Bess, do us all a favor and leave the detective work to Nancy, okay?
Has either of you been to Copper Gorge, Colorado?
Never heard of the place. Why?
Well, that's where the train I'm on is headed. Apparently Jake Hurley buried his wife Camille there after she died on the train.
She died on the train? Ew, creepy.
John Gray has set up a bunch of equipment in Camille's train car in hopes of documenting distortions in the electromagnetic field caused by her residual energy.
Say what?
He's looking for Camille's ghost. Don't you ever watch him on TV?
Just because I watch him doesn't mean I understand him.
Talk to you soon.
We'll be right here.
Yeah, washing the paint out of our hair.
Hey, Nancy, right?
That's right, Nancy Drew.
Amateur detective, huh? Ever thought about becoming a real detective? You know, like me?
I don't know. Do you like what you do?
I love it. You, heard about those bank robberies I solved, right?
Tell me about them.
Baffling case. Two-man team at 17 banks in 3 states in 5 days. FBI had no idea who the perps were. But after forcing their vehicle to a stop, confronting them, despite the fact that they were armed and giving chase, I single-handedly made the collar.
I heard they stopped because you accidentally rear-ended them.
You heard wrong. You see, Nancy, when somebody does something really remarkable in this country, the first thing everybody else does is try to tear them down. Reporters, late-night comedians, even some of my fellow officers, all have been spreading vicious lies about me. Why? Because they've never done anything remarkable in their sorry little lives, and they're jealous. Anyway, you should look around in here. Lots of interesting stuff. This was Jake's private car, you know.
I understand that you found something on the floor in the dining car.
Yeah, at first I thought it was an old coin, but it turned out to be some kind of slug.
Do you think it had anything to do with Lori's disappearance?
Nah, probably been lying there for 100 years. May have served a purpose back then, but now, worthless.
May I see it?
Sure, in fact, here, keep it. Wear it around your neck or something. That way, when people ask you where you got it, you can tell them Tino Balducci gave it to you. The Tino Balducci.
Oh, thank you.
What else can I do for you?
Thanks for your help.
Not a problem.
Looks like an old-fashioned cigar box. Wonder why it's locked. Camille with Hager Anderson and Chantilly Hildegard. J.H. For Jake Hurley, obviously. Must be Jake's insignia. There, all done. Eliza Sandberger. Another gemstone. An old scale. Strange. It seems to be built into the wall. Those symbols look like the ones I saw in that sampler. That square and that duck look very familiar. Those look like steam pipes. Silver. What do all those colors have to do with silver? Wonder what's supposed to go here. Looks like I need to enter 8 letters into this thing. The question is, which 8 letters? Lori?
Oh my gosh! I never thought you'd be the one to find me. No offense. Nadine?
Nancy. Nancy Drew.
Well, as you can see, I wasn't really spirited away by ghosts or anything. That bookshelf in the dining car, you step on this thing in the floor in there, and it slides open. I practiced disappearing for weeks.
So it was just all for show?
Well, not entirely. See, here's the deal. My dad wound up with this train when he bought out Noram Shipping. They'd been storing it in this old warehouse outside St. Louis for so long that everybody had just forgotten about it. Anyway, after mass begging on my part, Dad had the train restored to working condition and got me an engineer and track permits and all that other stuff until finally, here we are, on our way to find out what happened to Jake Hurley.
I think you were going to explain why you kidnapped yourself.
Oh, right. Well, see, I was one of the first people in 100 years to set foot on this train, okay? Everything was just the way it was when Jake disappeared. Except I also found this. It's a letter that Jake wrote in 1901 to his niece back east. He was real paranoid about claim jumpers, which is why he never told anyone where his mine was. But he was also afraid something would happen to him and no one would ever know where it was. So he wrote this letter to his only living relative, Ruth Kensington. Here, take it.
You want me to have it? Why?
Because you found me. See, in that letter, Jake tells Ruth that everything she needs to figure out where his mine is on this train. He also warns her that his wife's spirit is on the train too, which kind of creeps me out. But the thing is, to find Jake's lost mine, we need the train.
How do you know this Ruth person didn't find the mine decades ago?
Mostly because I found that letter in the wastebasket. It was like she'd gotten so ticked off, trying to follow her nutty uncle's clues, that she finally said to heck with the whole thing.
So you want me to try to figure out where the mine is?
Uh-huh. As for the other people on board, if you want to show them that letter, go ahead. It's totally up to you. We're going to Copper Gorge because that's where Jake buried Camille, so I figured his mine might be somewhere around there too. But if you think we need to go somewhere else, you just let me know and I'll have the engineer take us there.
How come you didn't try to find the mine yourself?
Maybe I did. Or maybe I just thought letting other people try to find it would be a good excuse to throw a party. I like parties.
How well do you know your guests?
Well, I don't know you or those Harvey guys at all.
Hardy. Frank and Joe Hardy.
Whatever. I didn't know John Gray before this either, but I love his show, and I figured he'd jump at the chance to investigate an honest-to-goodness haunted train, and now that someone has finally found me, I can finally go meet him for real.
What about Charlena Purcell?
I just know her from her books, which are so good. In fact, I just started reading her latest one, The Moon Tells No Lies. See, what I'd really like to do is write romance novels. Everybody who knows me says I'd be really good at it. In fact, a while back, I sent Charlena some ideas, just to see what she thought.
And?
She hated them.
We'll talk some more later.
As soon as you figure it out, let me know.